Okay, let's finish this as soon as possible. Okay, it's a weekend, I know, but then I think in the weekday classes, it's a bit difficult for everybody to make a time for this briefing now, huh? If you want to speak or anything like that, we do it after my quick briefing, huh? I will do a very quick one with you, and then anybody who wants to ask me anything, you can ask me after my briefing, huh? Okay. Basically, I think there's nothing much to brief you, lah, honestly. Because this is IDP 2 already, and you already know what to expect and what to do, you see. And in fact, whatever I am expecting you to do is already being told, and it's already being addressed during our PM class, remember? During the PM class, the project management class, you guys did the last assignment in the group. I did ask you to try to use your IDP project. It's actually exactly what I'm expecting you to do, okay? That is it, you know. But of course, during that time, your project is not complete. There is no proper no complete work breakdown structure. So some things have to be, you know, like what you actually imagine in that sense, you know. But then now that your project is already been designed, okay, then it is a lot more clearer, okay? So basically what is expected, you need to do your proper work breakdown structure. And then from your work breakdown structure, you need to do your resources planning of manpower, machineries, and material and others. And then also you need to do your, from there, you need to do your time, which is your scheduling, your productivity rate from your resources, and then your scheduling. From your scheduling, you need to produce a Gantt chart, and then do at least a CPM map out on level 1 activities. And then after that, you will proceed to do the costing work with all your BQs, because you have your work breakdown, you have your production list. Sorry, not production list, you have your resources list. And then from there, you can actually calculate, you know, from time you've got already, you can calculate your costs, okay? And then the last bit is also, that one you didn't cover in your assignment. That one is basically you need to take out each component of the work, and then you need to flow it into a flow chart of the work process and the quality checking and testing of materials, and what is the quality of material that is expected. You need to do a flow chart of the work and when you're going to do testing, and if this test fail, what do you need to do next, for example. And then lastly, you need to do a safety plan, and of course your site utilization plan, you've already done it. And yeah, site utilization, you just copy over from your previous one, I'll just improve on it. And that's really it, you know, the 4 areas that we wanted you to cover in your assignment. But the other day, I think I missed out the other 2. So only time and cost. So now you need to bring it into quality and safety as well. Okay. And of course, you need to do the final costing, like how much each house will cost, including land price and including like authority, capital contribution and all that. And then finally handing over to the client, like you need to plan that out, huh? And that's it actually. I mean, like 4 areas plus site utilization. And of course, the work, you need to show me how you're going to coordinate the work. This is all shown in the in your resources, in, you know, at difference in your work breakdown, in your resources. So I think with your assignment the other day, many of you are like, you give, oh, this is the table of PAR, you know, pop, you know, you give us a lot of tables, graph, you know, and all that, but then you never explain how you get it, you see. So there's no proper explanation before you show us the table. So that is where the major problem of your marks are. That's why you didn't do well. A lot of the table is like, oh, I open it, it's one stretch of tables, very nicely done tables, but what I see from the tables is you have done it correctly. But then you never explain to me what this table is all about. How did you arrive at this column? What is here in this column? What is here in this column? What is here in this column? A, B, C, D. You never properly explain it and put in the formula and show me the calculation, etc. You see, so that is the part that you guys are missing a lot of marks. That's why I think the highest anybody could get from that assignment was 21 out of 25. And many was floating around 17, 18, 16, even worse is like we've got people who get like 13, 12, 13, because really it's so bland, that there's no explanation. It's not a report, it's just like a compilation of tables, you see. So if you do that for your IDP, it's going to be even worse because it's a report, so if you can't do a proper report of how you arrive at certain things before showing the summary of it, tables is just a way to show the whole summary of things, you see, and you need to write and explain it in the beginning. And that boils down to a very important point is because the PM people do, why I want to gather everybody here today is because some of you may be saying, it's none of my business, because I'm not in PM. But unfortunately, PM people need your work breakdown structure. Okay, they need your input on the constraint of the project. They need your input on how you're going to flow the work, you see. So if you don't complete the work as early as you can and give it to the PM people, then you are actually not helping them at all when it comes to doing a proper costing work and proper scheduling work. And I know some of you are very selfish. You don't care really. It's like, if it's week 12, you need to do presentation, then you only finish your work. Oh, I've still got like, so many weeks, so I take it easy. I relax, and then you don't finish your design until like week 10 or week 11. And then, then you pass this information to the PM people. They will have a very hard time in trying to do a good job for the whole group, you see. So it needs that coordination work between the different parties, you see. So as early as you can, once you finish your calculation, sit down with the PM people as you go along. Maybe some of you are doing like water and civil, for example. Water and drainage, for example. So once you finish your water calculation, you know how many valves you need to put, how many pillar hydrant you need to put. You can roughly map it out first. Like you can just do a simple sketch and tell the PM people this is the amount of this is where you lay out the pipe, and this is, pass them the AutoCAD file, and then at least they can do some measurement from the AutoCAD to do the quantity takeoff. You see, so you need to help one another if you want to get good marks in that sense. It's not like dependent on one person. You just throw them the design at week 10, week 11, and then expect them to do a good job, and if PM didn't do well, you get 60 plus or 50 plus, then it will pull down the grade overall, you see. So it is a teamwork. It is that progress of working together. So I really strongly suggest that you all start to communicate with one another. And also, like, for example, the structure people do need information from the geotech people, or geotech people needs information from the structure people as well. So you may as well work together, find a time to work together to do the calculation, and then you can do the discussion together, like what factors you want to use and all that. It is not that I'm structure, I just care about structure. I'm geotech, I just care about geotech, for example. The earthwork people, you need to think about earthwork. You also need to think about the effect on drainage work when you are mapping out your drainage and sewage work, and as well, when you're mapping out your cut and fill and all that. So if you don't work together and discuss these things together, you're going to have a very uncoordinated project, and it's going to be part by part. Okay. So in your different component, you need to talk about the materials, the machineries. You need to talk about the availability of labors, availability of materials and all that. So it's constructability. Everything is together in that sense, So you can actually put everything in a PM section, and then constructability issues, environmental issues, other issues pertaining to the construction. Maybe you can put it under different sections. I think it's okay to do that as long as you put it in a table of content very clearly what is expected of where is, you know, the examiner needs to go to actually check out on the things, you know, like the content. The other thing is that I'm not saying that PM people should be sitting here not doing anything at the moment. Now, while everybody is doing their design, go back to your assignment, take out your assignment from PM and start to map out, start to key in, start to do it, format it according to your project. And then you can actually, at the moment, do your own work breakdown first, okay? And then from there, because you're also an engineer, you're also, you know, graduating engineer, you've done the project, you know roughly what is the work that will be involved. So you can actually map out in your Excel worksheet, using Excel worksheet, all your list of activities, you know, and then you can actually put into the labor machineries. You can start to do that first, you know. Then later on, when the work are completed, all you need to do is just change the Excel worksheet. The calculation will not really vary a lot. It's just that, you know, even if you change the time a little bit, the quantity a little bit, you know, and then you just have to key into your Excel worksheet, and then that will really be very fast already because you've set all the formulas there already. So that is what I would say that you need to do in the next few weeks, up to week 10 or week 9. You know, I would suggest that all the designs should be finished by around week 9 or week 10. Latest will be week 10 for everything to be compiled nicely together before your presentation. Sometimes in week 13, I believe, you know, presentation, or week 12 or week 13. Yeah, should be week 13 normally, and then you have to hand in your report a week after that, you see. So yeah, that's all I have to say, really, you know, because you've already done the PM assignment. I've already told you during the PM assignment, if you do a good job in PM assignment, that is going to form the basis of what I'm expecting in the IDP 2, actually. Yeah. Remember, I did say that, right? Okay. But in your PM assignment, I think we didn't do quality and safety. So now you can have to add on quality and safety. Okay. Any questions? Any questions, anybody? So are we clear on the expectation? Today's class is mainly expectation. What is it that Dr. Lee and I will be expecting, you know, from you all? What are we looking for? What are we marking at, you know? Where is it that you are scoring, you know, and where is it that you cannot score, you know? So later on, around week, I don't know, week what, you know, I haven't really seen the schedule yet. There will be a troubleshooting session with you all. That one is going to be during the proper IDP time. That one I will go through group by group on where are your problem, where are you stuck, and all that lah, huh? But like I say, for now, be very careful with this coordination work, especially the rest of you who are here, who are not PM people. You have to be reminded that you need to give the information, especially on the work and the flow of the work and the sequence of the work. and any special part of the design that you are very particular about, you need to tell the PM people, you see, you need to notify them so that as early as you can, so that they can do a proper estimation. And for PM people, it's not like you're sitting here waiting for these people to finish their job. You need to go and set up your format. You need to set up your report format now, you know, section 1, you know, whatever, you know, and your all your format, all your table formatting, you know, and then your writing up, you know, like how you do the calculation. That one you don't need that information from them. You can actually write all these things first, you see, like for example, if you say resources, machineries, you know, you write about what is machineries, you know, what are the planning of machineries, and what is it involved in machineries, how many machineries would you be putting in. You can start to list it down, you see, and whether you're going to own it or rent it, you know, and all that. You can actually put a table there, and then you can write about it. Material, you can talk about material, you know, like what type of material will be involved in this particular project. And then later on, when you're doing your time section, you can actually put down, you can actually put down first, you know, like what is productivity rate, you know, and how is it that you're going to arrive at which productivity rate to use, you know, and then from there, calculate your productivity rate and put the formula in times by what equals to days, you know, get that ready, get that set up first, you see, and then when you have more time, set up the Excel worksheet or tables or whatever that you're doing, and then set it up down, you know, like do it nicely, improve on what you have done previously. For, you know, some of you have got very nice table previously in your PM assignments, okay? But it's just that you didn't actually explain on how you do this table, what is in this column, what is in this column. You never explain anything. It's just like if I were to show a report to a non-PM person, nobody will understand what on earth you're doing, you see. But because I am your lecturer, I took a glance, I know what your thoughts are, but then it was never written down properly. And that shouldn't be the way. You should write like, you know, no matter which level you are, even if you're a PhD, in engineering, or whether you have 20 years of experience in project management or becoming an engineer, you have to understand that your design, whether it's drawings or specification, or whether it's a report or progress report, performance report, you have to remember, treat your audience like a Form 5 graduate, okay? Form 5 graduate. Why? Because if they can understand what you are writing, that means that nobody under the sun would not understand what you're writing. I'm not expecting a primary 6 to understand what you're writing, but at least a Form 5 graduate. Because that Form 5, why did I put a Form 5 graduate? Because that, in my time, it happens a lot. Site supervisor maybe only Form 5 graduated, you see. So now there will be at least diploma graduated. So my principle is you must let a Form 5 graduate understand your report. If you write like a beautiful, fluffy, fluttery butterfly language, you know, so flowery and smell so good and all that, but people like that cannot understand, or you write so technical that, you know, you think that you are writing to the men who are going to the moon, or you are reading this report to a NASA engineer, then I'm so sorry, you are going to be in trouble, you see. So you all are like giving us a lot of tables, even worse, a lot of numbers, you know, a lot of numbers, but people don't understand the numbers. And yes, S-curve, of course you need to do your S-curve, okay? With your costing work, you need to do an S-curve. That is a financial S-curve. This is how you're going to plan your financial, you know, after you've done your calculation, you know, you should know how much you're going to be spending monthly. And yeah, produce an S-curve. That's easy. That is part of the work, okay? So my comment is really like, people can't understand your report. That is the main thing that I'm trying to get to you. Because like I said, a lot of you, your concept in the PM assignment was correct, you know, but it wasn't properly convey to the examiner. Okay, so use that as the basis. That is I would say that the PM assignment is about 60% of your work done. Okay, so use that to build up to an even better report in terms of time and costing. And the other 40% was actually more on the quality and safety plan. Okay, like quality plan, I would prefer that you do one flow chart kind of thing, you know. Then at least we can get the idea of, you know, nice flow chart, very easy to read, you know, and, you know, where you're testing. If you receive material, what do you do, you know, step by step like that. And then machineries, testing of the materials. And then if the work is done, do you do any checking on any component, or you do slump tests? Do you do concrete tests? You know, you send it to the lab to do compressive tests and all that, the strength tests, you know. So then from there, you just, if it's a fail less than what, then you have to go back to check, or, you know, do whatever the next action is like, you know. So I think that is a very good way, but again, you need to describe it a little bit at least, you know, for us to understand the following, you know, like explain it and then the following work, you see. And during the work breakdown, don't just show us the list of work, you know. Explain these are the work, and then explain the relationship between each and every one of the work that is IDP, that is integrated between one work with the other work, you know, one area with the other area, and how you're going to flow the information and all that. You know, these are good reports. This is the way you write good reports, you see. Not just there you go figure, there you go table, you know. It's like understand yourself, figure it out yourself, you see. There's only 55 of you here, so there's really a lot of people who are not interested in this, you know. But if they really need to check back on what I say, you can actually, I will send this link to Dr. Razak and ask him to put out in whatever e-league group that you have, okay? But I will also email to maybe Ayuni and Atu, because Ayuni was the one who arranged for this session this time, okay? And Atu is a class representative, so I will also send the email of the link to them so they can pass up to the rest of the groups. Like I said, today is an expectation lecture, you know, it's an expectation that I'm trying to tell you my expectation, okay? What I want specifically to see from everybody, yeah? It's okay. I mean, it's a progression, it's an improvement. So it will get better. It's expected that PM assignment wasn't that well done. Then from there, you are actually bringing it into this year, and then it will get better, okay? Hopefully you get better. All right, any other question? If not, then we'll call it a day, okay?
No.
No, anybody else? Ayuni, you still have any more questions? Okay. Ashrin, do you have any questions, Ashrin? I know you like to ask questions.
No question, Doctor.
Yeah, okay. So don't worry, as we go along, even after the ethics classes for the next 4 more weeks to go, you still can ask me questions during in the chat or whatever regarding the matter of IPP. Okay, I'm more than happy to answer you if you have any questions there. But then again, like I said, around week 9, I think, or week 8, I would have a session of troubleshooting with you guys. Okay, so that one is, I do expect you to come with questions. That one I won't talk anymore at all. Okay, in fact, normally we don't have a session like this, so this is a special request by some of you, by some of my mentee. Okay, then you know, like I think it should be projected to everybody. So that's why we have a proper session. And from there, you know, we just later on, you know, when you do your work, you know, when you start to do your work, you know, and you show me your work, you know, and you know, we can discuss further during that session on troubleshooting. Okay. All right, huh? So some of you will have to go back to your assignment. Okay. Remember very clearly, right? I mean, like I did say that, you know, do your PM assignments, you know, use your project, it will be, use the IDP project because that will make your life a lot easier this semester. If you listen back to some of my classes, I think I keep on mentioning that assignment with relationship to this particular, IDP tool, okay? I know some of you probably still mean B lah, you never listen, that's why, okay? All right, no other people. Vanessa, you have any question, Vanessa? Kelvin, you have any question,
No.
Kelvin? Yeah, no? Yeah? Shit, Chingy, you have any questions? Samuel, you have any questions? Okay, huh? If no questions, I think that's about it, huh? Okay, you can leave now if there's no more questions.